Chris, the last video that was posted was by my friend Osric from Tuesday Night in the Basement. He asked a couple of questions. One of them was about my opinion on socialism, and the other one was about transgender thing. And honestly, I don't really remember what that question was because it's been a little while since I've seen it. Tonight, I will actually be drinking a New Glarus beer because, well, you're giving it to me.
It's pronounced New Glarus. He's not from around here, so I don't expect
New Glarus, whatever.
It's the best Oktoberfest you can honestly get in Wisconsin. It's called Staghorn. I got it. It's delightful, and he'll never get to have it again until he comes back.
Yeah, so I'm actually in Wisconsin at my brother's place. We are filming in his basement, so any weird noises is because there's a party going on. It was actually a reverse surprise party. It's in my honor because I'm in town, and my brother, the person who was hosting it, didn't know it was going to be a party. I invited a bunch of people and forgot to tell him.
Yeah, but it does give us the opportunity to do the first social drinking video that involves any amount of social drinking.
I know. To talk about socialism, we can tell that you're a socialist because
Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Well, here's the thing that's weird about that. Because for me, like, politics is like the most complicated sport that exists, which is why I like it so much more than actual sports. Because I'm a socialist ideologically. I believe that socialism is a good system in theory, but pragmatically, practically, and for the purposes of getting shit done, I'm not really a socialist. I'm more of a democratic socialist, which is why I agree like 99.9% with everything that Bernie Sanders wants to accomplish.
And the interesting thing about me is I'm not a socialist. I like the idea of everybody helping everybody out and taking care of the population, the government taking care of the population. But what I would prefer is actually libertarianism, where people take care of themselves. And I guess I'm into a kind of socialistic libertarianism, which confuses people a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because I want the government to provide services for people, but not mandate those services. So I want it to be available. I want the government to say, hey, we do have an insurance policy if you want it for your health, but you don't have to have it. If you don't want any insurance, fine, go, whatever, I don't care. So I like Bernie Sanders, but I really don't think he's going to win.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The thing with Bernie, and the number one reason why he's my candidate in this primary, is because he's the only one that I think is credible on the one biggest and most important issue in the whole election, which is overturning Citizens United.
I'm with you on that one. I hate Citizens United.
I don't know what his position is on squirrels' rights, but I trust he has a good one.
Probably.
But yeah, overturning Citizens United and reforming campaign finance, which would solve a lot of other problems with the political process.
I am a major proponent of both of those options.
Right, and as the only candidate who's not taking money from super PACs via Citizens United,
he's setting a good example.
It kind of makes him the only person who could possibly abolish it, because like Hillary is much more likely to win the nomination and quite possibly the presidency. And she's taking super PAC money. So how is she going to say, let's get rid of this money I took from a bunch of rich people? No, she's going to say, like, let's reform it. Let's make let's say you have to put your name on it.
It's always going to be like that.
In the right direction, but that's not going to be.
We will need a president that is not doing that to actually get rid of it. It's just like Obama was against the Patriot Act, and then once he got in office, fuck all happened. We still basically have the Patriot Act. It's not the same.
Didn't it expire?
No.
I thought it windowed.
The full thing did, but they still have a crap ton of powers that they should not have.
Yeah.
And I got an argument with my in-laws a few years ago about that, and my father-in-law actually asked me, he's like, would you risk another 9/11 to get rid of the Patriot Act? And I looked him in the eye, and he's a veteran of the Gulf War. I'm a veteran of the Iraq War, and I went, yes, I would risk it.
We're good.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Ceiling is good, floor is good.
But on the subject of socialists, I live in a city where we have a socialist
mayor.
No, not mayor. City council member.
Oh,
she is the ran on the socialist ticket, and we are getting a $15 an hour minimum wage, which is awesome to me because I only make $16 an hour while I teach driver's education.
So you'll probably be bumped up because of rising.
No, because I don't live in Seattle.
Oh well, fuck you. But the thing about socialism, that I was actually thinking about this question a lot, and the thing about it to me is I don't think socialism works in like the global perspective because government doesn't exist in a vacuum. So like when you look at North Korea, when you look at Cuba,
North Korea tries.
They suck though, and it's because global capitalism won the Cold War.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's basically it.
down.
Like Russia and like fuck China is communist, but they're like more capitalist than us in some fucking way.
Yeah.
Because that's the way.
And
the
it's
world
really
works.
weird to have
If you want to
capitalistic
get ahead, you gotta be
communism.
capitalist. Right? No, I know it's fucked up, and they
It's
actually
almost as ridiculous as socialistic libertarianism.
they actually fucked up. They're going to go through a huge market correction now.
You know you're
because
drifting left.
I know. Sorry, let me get.
It's because we gotta be in frame, which means our personal space needs to go away.
no bubbles, people.
This isn't
Drink
America.
water.
We can't talk like this. It doesn't work.
But yeah, China's actually going to undergo a huge market correction because they like
Have been lying about
they-
their money for the last 10 years.
And they didn't listen to supply and demand because they didn't give a fuck because there was so much corruption in the
Yeah.
party that it was all about making money and not about like the economy.
Yeah.
generating. So it's gonna suck for a lot of people in China and everywhere else as a result. But my point is like socialism doesn't work big picture macroeconomically because capitalism exists and doesn't want it to. So had the Cold War.
I think it's more
differently-
basic than that. I think capitalism is more of a capitalism and modified socialism is more monkey than communism because
More monkey.
it's
We're talking like howler, spider, what?
no bonobo. Talking about
Jerks off all
bonobo.
day
Yes,
long.
yes. They taught. Well, no. They didn't teach prostitution to bonobo monkeys.
They
taught
let
them
them
money,
and they figured out.
figured out prostitution.
Oh, I
So
remember
supply
that.
and demand is a thing. Read Freakonomics and Super Freakonomics. I love those books. Have you read those?
I haven't read them, but I've seen the movie and I've listened to a lot of their stuff they've posted on NPR.
They're awesome.
It's the same thing.
So yeah, I think like capitalistic socialism is probably the easiest thing for
Yeah, it's
the
Denmark.
great apes.
It's
to pull
Denmark,
off.
Sweden, it's Norway, Finland. It's
Yeah, you can make all the money you want, but you got to spend a shit ton on it so that everybody can be okay. And then
Yeah.
whatever's left over, all yours, bro.
It
Go
should
buy
be-
a fucking $5 million speedboat.
The basic principle of it is it should be very, very difficult to be super, super rich, and at the same time, it should be very, very difficult to be horribly, horrifically poor.
Yeah, I'm down. I can dig that.
And I mean, fuck, Bernie Sanders,
And
honestly.
leave me alone some so that I can do stupid shit on my own.
Right. Still, yeah, whatever.
I want to soup up my car to ridiculous levels considering that it's a four-door four-banger. But I want to.
I mean, Sanders is running on the Eisenhower economic plan, with just more progressive, like social on
Yeah.
gay rights and civil rights and criminal justice reform and shit like that.
Eisenhower's the one that
Taxes were 90.
desegregated the army, right?
Yeah. Also,
When he did that, nobody liked it.
taxes were 90% in the top bracket under Eisenhower. Everybody seems to forget
Really?
that. And he built fucking the highways and hospitals and schools.
You know,
that
he
made
built the
country
highway
go
so
on.
that you could land airplanes on them and drive tanks down them.
Yeah, it was primarily a military project because he was really impressed with the Autobahn because that shit was boss.
It's sweet.
It's a really good way to invade a country.
Yeah. We set up the pathways. Come on in, bitches.
All roads lead to Rome, right?
Moving on. Transgender, in a general kind of way. Okay.
I mean, the question was like, wrap your head around that shit as somebody who's never dealt with it. And like, the way that I always try to explain it to people, because I don't think it's really that complicated, is that like there are an infinite continuum of genders. Like, you could be a tomboy, or you could be a girly girl, or you could be a butch guy, a macho man, or you could
And
be
this
a
isn't just
fairy
for
or
people.
whatever.
We were talking earlier, and I mentioned
Yeah.
that there's actually multiple different genders in cows. The one I
but
particularly
that's
remember.
the problem.
Well, bovines.
The word,
Bovines.
no. That's the problem. Is you're confusing gender and sex, and that's the entire problem. Is that sex is biological,
Yeah.
and gender
Yeah.
is psychological.
And even then, we're moving closer to being able to change your sex if you feel like it. The real issue that I have
But
with
you
wrapping
can't
my
change your sex because it's based on chromosomal like anomalies or whatever.
like we're not
and
getting
there's 5 different types. Well, I suppose if you look at long term, there's 5 naturally occurring human sexes, but there's infinite genders. So if you just kind of keep that in mind, that like you are not just straight male, even if you think like I'm a straight guy. Like it's so much more complicated.
The
than that.
real problem that I have with honestly wrapping my head around it, I don't really care, but I have done a bunch of different kinds of Kinsey surveys.
Yeah.
And I am like almost solid straight. I'm so straight that it's like, huh? I simply cannot understand being sexually attracted to somebody that's the same.
Are you uncomfortable
Sex is
looking
weird.
at yourself naked in the mirror?
No, not at all.
Well, then you're not.
I've sat down.
Then
and
you're not straight as an arrow straight.
Yeah, yeah, it's me. I'm not sexually attracted. Well, I'm weirdly sexually attracted. But that's more narcissism than homosexuality.
It's not gay. It's masturbation.
It's narcissism. But like, I've actually went out and looked, and like, to a certain level, porn is porn. But like, gay porn, I've looked, I've watched it. No interest.
You don't have to have an interest in it.
Like, I don't
It's fine.
even react. It's.
That's fine.
I know.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. None of it.
That's
shouldn't matter.
really the hard thing that I have, because I am deeply steeped in the gender roles of our society. I'm man, but try to be in touch with who I am at the same time. So I've had some like redneck manly man dudes make fun of me because I'm willing to cry about crap. But when I get sad, why the fuck not? You know? But I don't. I do have a hard time wrapping my head
That's
around.
minutia of gender, because that's the thing. Like there is not. It's cultural. It's regional. It's based on learning, psychology. You know, it's based on who raises you. It's based on social peers. It's based on so much shit that is completely out of any individual's control.
I know that, but I am so far straight on the Kinsey scale. I am so steeped in
That
a lot of
you
the
can't
gender
understand the
that
idea
I can't.
of being sexually attracted to another man.
No, it's totally foreign to me. It's like trying to figure out how to live in the fourth dimension. I just, I can understand it in a academic kind of way. I know that it exists. I know people feel like
that's
this, but I don't
probably
really
all.
get it.
That's probably all anybody ever who's not bisexual can really do. I mean, because like I don't really understand it any more than intellectually.
To be fair, I've had a conversation with a guy that was gay and could not understand how I found vaginas attractive.
Right, and to be
Because
fair,
when you look at it, from a very objective perspective,
they look like a wound. Yeah.
Oh my god, we're gonna piss off so many people.
I can't wait to upload this shit. Oh.
That's right. Cocks aren't any better looking. They're all like.
To be fair. It's perfect on like all genital
People are
mashing
ugly
is
in a general
gross.
kind of way. And sex is dirty.
That's actually one of
fun.
the Buddhist meditations. That's an effort of like reducing lust and willingness to like get into like base human emotions. Is to picture like all of the gross aspects of the human body, which are many. For example, like there's mucus and pus and shit and piss and blood like everywhere underneath your skin. And like,
have you ever touched like a sweaty rag when it was somebody else's sweat? Anytime you have sex, you get that. And like, I sweat a lot.
He's wearing
Just
a
normally.
sweater underneath his t-shirt.
I sweat a lot, and it's gross.
Yeah.
It grosses me out. It's my sweat.
So that's all you have to do to stop those urges, I guess.
We have answered the questions. We have finished our beers, and we have offended at
The whole human population.
pretty much, yes. Just about everybody. That's our goal. So I think it's time to say.
Let's go get another beer and turn this shit off.
Yeah, I like that.